What's going on, G1 Nation? Tom the Iron Man here, coming back for another TexaVlog. Back here in the Lone Star State, day 2 of my vacay. And I have to start out with a correction from yesterday when I had dinner with Shelby. I said it was at an Italian joint called Mauricio's. It's actually Marco's. I happen to have found one of the cups that I had of Country Time Pink Lemonade because I wanted something without caffeine, and all they had was citrus soda, and I was like, well, this isn't going to work. And I had that, and I forgot I had it in the rental car, and that kind of solves that mystery right there. But yeah, Marco's, wonderful stuff. So, day 2 started bright and early with my alarm clock going off on my phone that I normally have set for when I am home. And I completely lost track of what day of the week it actually was already. Wednesday, as it turns out. Surprise, surprise. And I went ahead and started slowly putting myself together. And then, of course, my phone goes off. Notification, a red robe had just gone live on Twitch. And I was like, what day is this again? Again, I was still really confused. Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. Because if you don't know, G1, a red robe, does the G1 Wrestling Universe on his personal channel when he's not hosting for G1 Game Days like myself. And he has gone ahead into create a wrestler mode and has made a fantasy league featuring G1s and Screw Attack, Game Attack, and other Rooster Teeth personalities. And he does it every week, and it's absolutely wonderful. You should go ahead and check it out. And I decided to go ahead and tune in like I normally do. The hotel Wi-Fi is absolutely atrocious. I was almost ready to just go ahead and stream the whole damn thing from my phone, and I was getting a better signal off of that. Even though I have unlimited data, AT&T, or as I like to annoy them by calling them American Telephone and Telegraph, that's what their name is, they have been saying that they would throttle it if it ever got to a certain point. And I'm like, you know what? What if I really do need to stream something like Periscope something? Let's not do that and suffer through the bad Wi-Fi that this establishment has. And we got through it. A great series of matches today. There's been a running theme that the new talent seems to be getting squashed. Typically in the world of professional wrestling, when you're having a wrestler make a debut match, you typically want them to look strong and they win their debut match. So far, the 3 new bloods have all fallen to more established people, and one of the new bloods was the Rule 63 version of G1 Shira, and had the entrance style of Finn Balor in his Demon King form, but the mask made her look like Sin Cara. It was weird. It was a good match, though, and it was just unfortunate that she didn't win. Oh, well. But the biggest shout-out out of all that stuff was G1 Barrel Dragon. And bear in mind, this is all completely controlled by the AI. Robe doesn't control any of these characters except when it's himself. And that's what was crazy. Barrel went ahead and had a match, beat that in a relatively short amount of time, and the game wigged out and put him in a fatal 4-way match the next match. So he went full-blown AJ Styles and did 2 matches in a row. He didn't win the second one, but he didn't get pinned, so he came out looking strong on that too. So, Barrel Dragon, you are a certified badass. So, after that, it was about time to get ready to go ahead to lunch. I really didn't have anything major on the books when I was, woke up. So, all that I really had to do today was to grab lunch with Shelby, and then go hang out with Pizzap for a little bit, and that was pretty much all I had for today, because all the con prep for the weekend was done yesterday with the late night run to the Walmart, so that was the thing. And Shelby had been talking about a great number of places to go ahead and grab lunch at, and it was a couple of them was like the places that were in talks of where we were going to go before the fireworks kind of derailed everything. It was a I don't know if Japanese fusion is the right word for it, but it was the main attraction was it being a having a sushi bar called Kaiji Sushi Grill. And it was great, and we had shrimp tempura, which I have not had in years, and we both got sushi, which I have not had in at least 5 years. It's been a while since I've had a good plate of anything, and this was great. They had their menu online, and I was looking at getting some combo orders, like 15 pieces and stuff like that, because I typically don't eat breakfast on my day off. I just wait till lunch and have something modest, and then that carries me all the way through dinner. And it was one spicy tuna, one spicy salmon, a crab stick, which was wonderful. I love crab. Couple California rolls and a couple of Philadelphia rolls and a couple tuna rolls. But it wasn't a tuna roll. It was tuna. It was like it was either tuna or salmon maki. And I didn't know what maki was, being stupid foreigner gaijin. I didn't know what it was. I thought it may have been caviar, and we both had to pull out our phones and look it up, and it wasn't caviar. I think she said it's normally caviar is roe or something like that, and that was definitely not on there. There's two things when it comes to sushi I can't do. I can't do mollusks, and I can't do caviar. It's just not gonna happen. I have a relatively open mind when it comes to culinary stuff, but I can't do those. So thankfully that wasn't what it was. Instead of being like a fillet of tuna or salmon that was cut down and then wrapped with the sticky rice and then put in a seaweed, it was the seaweed band, but it was sticky rice was the base, and they kind of like filled it up with like minced pieces of fish. And I'm really weird about fish. If you overcook it to the point where it's flaky, I'm going to kill you. You've ruined it for me. I want my fish to have a certain level of firmness and spring to it. Don't cook it to death, which is what has made me grown to having such a grand appreciation for sushi, because there is a tenderness and springiness to it. So this maki, having it all diced up like that was quite interesting, and I liked it. But I certainly enjoyed the whole pieces more. Just better mouthfeel for me, and it was a wonderful experience all the same. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a wonderful choice for lunch, and it certainly tided me over well into dinner, which we'll be getting to that in a little bit. So that was cool. It's kind of neat that like Shelby's current job affords her enough time to actually get up, leave the office, go to some place to have lunch, eat the lunch, and then have enough time to return. That concept is so foreign to me with every other job that I've ever held, that it's all fast, fast, fast. You don't have time. Inhale your food, get back to work. Or in the instance, what I do at my current job is just down my Slim Fast and go take a nap, But that's just based out of not knowing what to do with myself and not knowing what to do with the time. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say when I say that. So after that, I went ahead, and it was getting close to 1:30 to 2 o'clock at that point, and I was thinking, well, let's see if we can't find the park in which Ben and Nick had the salsa eating contest. I had tweeted at Nick and Ben a week or two ago asking if they had remembered. Nick got back to me saying it was a preschool playground near the old office. And I was searching around every flippin' thing that would come up on the Google machine, and none of them, either these playgrounds have been redesigned since the salsa eating challenge happened, and that's distinctly a possibility. At this point, this has been almost 10 years. So the chances that any of them are intact, I don't know. But even then, trees don't change. They continue to grow. And just basing it on the scenery that was captured on camera, there were some trees with some very distinct bases. And none of them matched the layout versus what I was able to pull up on YouTube versus what I found. So I'm not giving up hope on that yet. When I drive down to Austin for the Texas Shindig, I'm going to ask Craig to see if he remembers. I tweeted at him today. I don't think he saw it. I think he was busy streaming because, you know, that's what you got to do. They're a live channel now, for better or for worse. So, and that killed about an hour and a half, and I did see some pretty nice scenery and ended up driving alongside Lake Dallas for a little while. So that was cool, but I didn't find what I was looking for. And by that time it was getting close to like 2:30, and I was thinking, you know, Pizzap said he was going to be getting off work at 4. I don't exactly remember how long it's going to take me to get from Lewinsville proper to Richardson, Texas. I should probably start heading that way now. And as I got in the car and started driving, he shot me a DM saying, hey, I'm actually getting off work early. All I need is to get home and get a shower. And I'm like, perfect. I'm heading that way right now. See you soon. Got there about 3:15. And there's a Kroger very close by to where he lives. And I was going to duck in there and see if I could find the Imperial Dr. Pepper. It's Dr. Pepper in 8-ounce glass bottles, but it's made with Imperial cane sugar, and it tastes wonderful. And I was absolutely crestfallen to not find a single bottle, and I asked them about that, and they said, I think you can only get that at the Dublin Dr. Pepper plant. So I think that is going to have to be a point of order once I come back up from Austin to actually pay homage to the fabled Dublin Dr. Pepper plant and actually see if I can get some in person. Because, as you all know, I don't buy store-bought soda anymore. It's all through the soda machine. That's, you know, it's all the preservatives and other garbage. You don't need that. So, but the Imperial Dr. Pepper is a notable exception because it is made with real cane sugar and not that bullshit high fructose corn syrup. So, picked up Pizzap, went immediately over to the In-N-Out Burger and got milkshakes because that's the thing to do, and it was good times. And then we were like, let's go amiibo hunting. So he pulls out his phone and he looks up on GameStop's website, and the one that I don't have at present was an amiibo, the Twilight Princess Link amiibo that came out a week or two ago. Somehow that completely slipped under my radar, and I don't have it, and my local GameStop store had all their pre-orders picked up, so I wanted one, and he found a store that was, I don't even, it's Watatuca, Texas. It was a fair bit north of us, and it was about 30 some miles away, and if that was in Virginia, that'd have been like, oh, why does it have to be so far away? But this is Texas with its great highway system. 30 miles is really 30 minutes or less because you can really rev it up and get up to 70 on some of those thoroughfares. So that wasn't too bad. And we started driving through some rain, and I made the offhanded joke of like, this time I won't leave my 3DS in your driveway, which got completely waterlogged, and I had to send the damn thing out to Nintendo to get it fixed. Thank goodness they were able to do it. But we arrive. We enter the building, and we say, we are from Richardson, and we're looking for the Twilight Princess amiibo. And the guy's like, sorry, bro, we're sold out. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? So, as it turns out, the GameStop website does not update its store information in real time. So, in essence, we had driven all the way out there for nothing. But all was not lost. There was a game that he had gotten for the PS4, I want to say. I'm going to pull it up here right now because otherwise the trip would have been completely completely null and void. What was it called? Fate Extella. Never heard of it. It's definitely an anime-inspired game, but it was for the PlayStation. I'm sorry, it wasn't for the PlayStation 4. It was for the PlayStation Vita. It was a Super Jumbo Deluxe version, so he was able to get that for a song. It was factory sealed, which is always good, so at least he was able to get something out of it. And that it made me feel like our little misadventure yielded some fruit. You know, I that would have been a bummer. It's like, hey, dude, let's get milkshakes and totally waste your afternoon. You know, I'm sure hope my company was enough, you know, for that. But, you know, the fact that he actually found something that he was looking for, that made me feel good. So that way, you know, he got something out of it. Because, you know, like... hanging out's one thing, you know, I want to make sure everybody's having a good time, but, you know, something positive came out of all that driving. So we doubled back to his place, and I got to see his dazzling 4K TV, and he had his PlayStation 4 Pro hooked up to it, and he had the demo of Ys 8 on there, and of course it was all in Japanese because he had to make a Japanese account to get to it. And I have been a longtime fan of the Ys series before I even realized it was the Ys series. I just remember it being that cool Zelda-looking style game on the Super Nintendo, not realizing that was the third incarnation of the game. You know, and got the ones on the PSP and all that fun stuff. The 3D ones have taken a Phantasy Star Online-ish kind of presentation of the gameplay. It's third person hack and slash, but you can jump and do aerial combos, so I wouldn't say it's like Devil May Cry in terms of the complexity of the combat engine, but it's definitely engaging, and you can actually play as two other characters other than Adol, which is pretty cool. One of them is a young lady, and she's a fencer, and she's very, very, very fast. Also, the game is very shiny. Not the most graphically impressive game I've ever seen because it was based on a Vita game, and I guess you could really just call the PS4 version an enhanced port. But it's definitely shiny. There's a lot of bright colors in it, and it looks wonderful. And I definitely pre-ordered the Super Jumbo Deluxe version off of Nipponishi's store for its fall release, which is getting closer all the time. That's the thing about pre-ordering stuff, man. You kind of forget it's coming until it actually happens. Again, joining the lineup of games for the PS4 for a system that I don't own yet and won't own until Norman Reedus the movie The Game comes out, whenever that may be. And we've got a ways to go because that game did not show up at E3, so I think I'm safe for a couple of more years. Probably 2019 at the earliest. So, he showed me that. That was good times. He tried playing it on the hardest difficulty, which was called Nightmare, which is like a step up from Inferno, where it's the other way around. Maybe Inferno was the highest and then Nightmare, whatever. He was getting like two-shotted by everything. And I'm like, you could just like try to like just be super good at dodging stuff and try to kill the boss that way. Because it doesn't matter. Like if you like grind for levels and you're not perfect on evading stuff, you're going to die. And you're going to go through all of your recovery items before you even get to the boss. So you have to be like spot on with the evasion stuff. Otherwise, what are you doing? So it's this really weird catch-as-catch-can You either try to grind for levels and spend all your recovery items, or save all your recovery items and try to fight the boss with what just you have, just taking one hit. Wow, it's crazy. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to be anything tied to those higher difficulties other than just saying I did that. If there was New Game Plus, that would probably give me some incentive to do so, but there isn't, so it didn't really seem like that. I probably never will. I'll probably just play it on normal or whatever, just so I can enjoy the story, because that's the main attraction to the Ys franchise, is a uniquely different story every time you play it, with each successive entry, on top of having really compelling gameplay. And it seems that they're taking a bit of a Monster Hunter approach to this, because everything that he killed dropped something. And I would have to presume that there's got to be some kind of cooking or crafting system to go along with this. Color me intrigued. So that's going to be neat. And before we said our goodbyes and everything, the kid's way too generous. He had something for Shelby, and she was looking for a Guardian amiibo from a Breath of the Wild, so she's going to be getting that. Shh, don't tell her. But don't worry, by the time this goes up on YouTube, she will have already had it. So, surprise! Then there was a mystery something for Kanan. I actually did not open it, so that's going to be something that Shelby's going to gift her when she sees her at Con Bravo. And the last thing was, for me, it was the Captain Toad Amiibo Game Bundle box set. I got Captain Toad when it was on sale on the eShop. I think it was either Black Friday 2015 or Black Friday 2016, but I got it for like stupid. No, it had to have been 2015, because I played it for the Iwata tribute stream. That was, it's a good ass game. It's really enjoyable. So now I have a physical copy of that and the amiibo that goes along with it, little Toad amiibo. Hey! So that's cool. So Pazap, thank you. You're seriously way too kind, all too generous. Love you long time, buddy. It was wonderful to see you, and I'll definitely try to make some time to hang out with you when I come back up from Austin. So at that time, it was time to go back towards the apartment. Not really apartment, as the hotel room. It's kind of funny. I've grown into this place being like my own apartment in less the time that it's taken me to actually settle into the apartment that I have back at home. Weird how that works out. You just grow into a place and you just absorb it as one of your own. And I was getting mightily hungry. And I was just throwing it out on Twitter. It's like, I need Texas noms. What should I get for Din Din that I can't get back home? And sometimes the simplest answer is the best one. And Mecha Koopa on Twitter said Whataburger, and that's what I did. Went over there, pulled, and there was one like on the other side of the highway, like 3 miles from the hotel, which was wonderful. I love it when it's close by, that stuff, because I had to cross the highway to get there, but it was a straight shoot all the way back, so that was great. They had a hot and spicy bacon burger, which was great. For those of you who have never had Whataburger, it's like on the grand national scale of burger joints, it's better than McDonald's by a country mile, and it's better than Burger King by a whole lot. I don't know if they fry them or they broil them, but they're pretty juicy. I wouldn't say they're as good as Steak and Shake, because they're not using steak burgers. They're using like a ground beef patty, but it is heads and shoulders above McDonald's and Burger King. I would say it's closer to a Wendy's, but the thing that makes it better than a Wendy's, and Wendy's has really stepped up their game in the last 10 years, like really stepped up their game. So that's saying a lot. Never to say that Wendy's was ever not a good place to get a hamburger, but it was like the quality of the beef has gotten up so much higher than what I remember it being. You know, I remember just going after Saints Row, the original Saints Row came out in 2006, just going to the drive-thru at like 11 o'clock at night and getting like a bag full of junior bacon cheeseburgers and just wafting those down as I was playing multiplayer with my friends because of freckle bitches. Who remembers that place? Holy shit. But you know, it's the thing that makes the burger experience for a Whataburger better is the bun that it's on. It is soft and it is slightly chewy, and it doesn't have like the sesame seeds that a lot of other restaurants pepper their buns with, but they're like a 6-inch bun with a patty that is of equal size, and it is just the right consistency and mouthfeel for me. So that's good. Their fries are pretty average, but that's really not what you're there for. You're there for the burger, so you can truly say, what a burger. So, you know, that's good times. By then, I was like ready to almost call it a day. Came back home, set up the laptop, saw the new video from Digital Foundry about actual physical benchmark tests for Xbox One X running legacy titles with a 4K update, and how much of a difference it is, and the GPU load and all these hard numbers. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be really something else for legacy titles and existing titles. That's really cool. And then I got a DM from G1 Matthew Fishman, and he said, hey, do you want to go to round one? You know, with a couple of G1s and like the arcade? Absolutely. How late are you guys going to be there? It's like, oh, we'll just be there. So I went ahead and got it all packed up, went back out to the car, and thankfully the round one in Grapevine is actually really not that far away from the hotel. So it only took me about 15 minutes to get there. Unfortunately, I think I missed them, or they didn't show, because I went inside, got tagged and everything, and the place was pretty empty. I'm pretty sure I would have noticed. So, Matt, I was looking for you, buddy. But it wasn't all for naught. They did have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on a candy cab. So I played a little bit of that till the AI just gets so flippin' stupid hard that it's just nigh unplayable. So it's didn't really get up to... Oh, wait. Oh, you just DM'd me now. Got the laptopy up here. Hold on. We showed up and didn't see anyone and left. Oh, bummer. Okay, well, that's too bad. And then we did miss each other, but, you know, hey, we tried. Talking about Voodoo Donuts. Oh, yeah, Voodoo Donuts. So that'll be another thing that will be for another TexaVlog. So went ahead, and it was actually quicker getting back from the round one than it was getting to it. There's like business Route 21 crosses over 35 in such a way that it actually led me to the back entrance back to this hotel than it did getting out there. So that was okay. Round one, for those of you who have never been to one, it's kind of like Dave and Buster's arcade kind of a setup that also has a bowling alley and karaoke lounge. So if that's your thing, that's your thing. There's not a whole lot of competitive arcade games there. They did have BlazBlue. They did have Guilty Gear. They did have Ultra Street Fighter 4. They did have Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, the Japanese version. So, it had a different cast than what we got on the Wii version. And then there was also, of course, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes. So played a little bit of that and then packed up, came back here. And here we are, wrapping things up here with another TexaVlog for you guys. Tomorrow morning we pack the bags and drive down to Austin and proceed to begin with the Texas Shindig on day 0. So that will do it for now. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and share this shiznaz around if you did find it remotely enjoyable. Just like to have a chronicling of everything that's been going on here. So that's it. That will do it. And we'll catch you on the next time, guys. So thank you. Ciao, ciao.